Hi yogis, Claire Denise here, and today I want to share quite a short practice with you, but one that's really effective, and it's actually what I practice on almost a daily basis myself. It's perfect for maybe when you just want to get moving first thing in the morning, days where you're short on time, or where you know you're going to do a bigger practice later on, but you just want to get a little bit grounded and centered before you start your day. So I'm going to start on my back, so come on down, and we're going to start reclined with our knees bent. So before you begin to move, let's come into just constructive rest for a second. So bring your feet a little bit wider apart, drop your knees together, take your arms away from your body. So even when we're maybe a little bit short on time, it's still worthwhile stopping before you begin. So just feel the floor beneath you. And take a few mindful breaths. Just setting everything else aside. So whether it's the first thing in the morning or last thing at night, just bring yourself into the moment. Steady breathing, setting the pace that you're going to maintain throughout this practice. And so let's bring the feet a little closer together now so they're back to the hip width apart. Bring your arms in by your side. We're going to push the feet into the floor, draw the shoulders down. As you inhale, start to lift your hips. As you exhale, lower down and come down each vertebra at a time. So the upper back lowers, the middle back lowers, the lower back comes down. You're going to keep going like that. So warming up the spine. Inhaling as the hips come up. Exhaling as the hips lower. Now, if you had the space above you as well, you could bring the arms into this, which always feels so good first thing in the morning. So inhale, bring the arms up over the head as the hips lift. And then exhale, lowering the arms as the hips come down. So do what feels the best for you. We're just going to lift one more time. Now take a little pause as you come down this time. Hips returning to the mat, arms coming down. And root the feet into the floor. One more time now, lifting up the hips. This time we'll stay a bit more static. And then really push your right foot into the floor. And just let your left foot just float off just about an inch or two, not very high. And then exhale, return your left foot to the mat. Root down through the left, lifting the right. Lowering the right foot, inhaling, lifting the left. Exhaling, foot to the mat, pushing down. Right foot lifts. You can stop there, or let's do one more time perhaps. This is great for building a bit of strength and stability around the hips, around the pelvis. And then you can return both feet to the mat, lower down through your spine. And then let your knees draw towards you. You can place your hands on top of the knees or on the shins. And you can rock side to side or make circular movements. Giving a gentle little back massage. Returning back to center, I'm going to extend the left leg and then let the right leg be drawn across the body. So keep the right knee bent, taking it across. So if you find this one a bit tricky, you can always grab a prop. You can use a block. I'm going to use a rolled up blanket today. And you can pop that in under the knee. And you'll encourage your right shoulder to draw down, and your head can stay at the center, or you can look over to the right. The twists, of course, not only good for our spinal health, our mobility, also for our digestion. Let's roll that right hip back to the mat, extend the right leg, draw the left knee in. And if you're using your prop, you can bring it across. And we'll draw the left knee over to the side. So that left hip lifts right up off the mat. Left shoulder draws down. Easy breathing now. Notice if tension creeps into your face or your jaw. Just breathe it away. And then rolling your left hip back to the mat. You can draw both knees in again. Give them a little squeeze. And then I'll invite you now to come onto your side. So rolling over. And then gently making your way onto all fours. So if you've got sensitive knees or you're on a hard surface, you can always use your blanket to slide it underneath. Give yourself a bit of padding. We're going to set up in tabletop, so wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. For some good old cat-cow. So inhaling, lifting the chest. Exhaling, rounding the back. Drop your tailbone. And keep going so the arms remain straight. And if you're to look back when you do your cat, you should see a space between your knees. We'll keep going. So when I do practice this sequence first thing in the morning, I don't even change my clothes. I'm in my pajamas. I just roll out of bed. Sometimes I don't even bother getting my mat. It just feels really good to move your body after a long night's rest. So on your next in-breath, come back into center. Keep your left hand where it is, and then as you inhale, take your right arm into the air. So we'll do a moving thread the needle. So as we exhale, we're going to thread that right arm in and under, sliding it along the floor. And then inhale, sweep the arm back up. Exhale. So you're bending your left elbow to help you get here. One more time. And then this time now, as the right arm comes down, see if the head will come towards the mat. You can stay there or bring your left hand around to your lower back or to your hip. So really great, not only for your spine, but for your shoulder as well. And then next breath, bring your left hand to the mat. Inhale, sweep that right hand up into the air. Exhale, returning it to the mat. So opposite side now. Inhale. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, threading through. Inhale. And exhale. So last one. And then as we come down, let the arm come all the way down, lower the head. So keep the right hand there or bring your hand to your lower back. And then after a few breaths, we'll bring the right hand back to the mat. Inhale, left arm sweeps up. And exhale, returning to all fours. Draw your big toes together now. We'll sink our hips down and back. We'll take a child's pose. So from your child's pose then, inhale. Start to lift your head, lift your upper body. We'll come up onto the knees. And then I'm going to step the right foot forward. So I'm coming into a low lunge. So if you feel that you need a bit of padding, just pop your blanket in underneath your knee. So you can keep your left hip over your knee, or you can start to sink your hips forward and down. Let's raise the arms, bring them out and up. Lift the heart. You can keep your hands where they are, or I'm a big fan of shoulder openers, shoulder stretches, so I'm going to bend the right elbow, bring the right hand to the upper back, then take the left hand out to the side, thumb down, bring your hand to your lower back, your mid back, or the upper back, maybe even meeting that right hand. Hips moving forward, heart lifting, maybe the gaze is lifting upwards as well. And then we'll release the hands, send the hips back, bring the right knee back to the mat, and step the left foot forward. So hips sinking, or staying back here. This is a great spot to work on stability in the pelvis and the hips. Arms lifting up, ever so gentle back bend here perhaps. And then up to you, keep your hands where they are, or this time the left hand comes to the upper back, the right hand comes to the lower back, or the mid back. See where you're at. So often one side feels really different to the other. Just be patient, be kind to yourself. And then after a few breaths, let's release out the hands. We're going to bring the knee back to the mat, bring the hands down. Now you could head into your child's pose or tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. So if you're feeling a bit tight in the legs, you might need to pedal your feet, waking up the legs, maybe moving back and forward a few times, waking up your wrists. And then perhaps settling, then looking towards the hands, starting to walk your feet slowly, slowly, slowly up towards the top of your mat. And when you get there, put a little bend in the knees, let your arms hang down, let your upper body get really floppy, let your head hang, and we're going to roll up. Ragdoll. Rolling the shoulders back as we get up to the top. And then we're going to inhale. So feet are pushing down, toes are spread, arms are lifting. And then exhale, hinge forward, down we go. So we're not going to move the feet, we're going to keep them where they are. Hands on the shins, inhale. Exhale, stay there or fold down deeper. Inhale, root down, rise up. Exhale, release down. Let's do it again. Inhale, float up with the arms. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale, push down. Rise up. And exhale. Now we could leave it there, or we could, if we've got the time, we can do a few rounds of our full sun salutes. So make sure that you are up at the top of your mat. These days I like to practice Tadasana with my feet a few inches apart, just for stability. Fingers pointing down. And then an inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, half lift, long spine. Exhale, looking down, palms coming to the mat as you take a big step back. Right foot first, then the left. Come into plank, take an in-breath. And then as you lower, exhale. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale. Coming onto the knees or rolling over the toes as we find downward facing dog. So you can spend 5 breaths here, or you could take tabletop or child's pose. Rooting into your foundation, your hands, your feet. And then after your 5 breaths, looking towards the hands, stepping forward. Half lift. Exhaling to fold. Inhaling to rise up. Exhale. And release. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, palms to the mat, step back, plank. Inhale. Exhale as you lower. Hug those elbows in. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Last time, folks. You can stay for your 5 breaths, so you can head into any pose that you feel drawn to right now. And then this time, after your 5 breaths, if you're still in your downward dog, come on down onto your knees. Let's draw the big toes in towards each other. Sink your hips back towards your heels. Child's pose. Keeping it a little bit active. Let's take the right hand out, sliding it off the mat, bringing it out to the right side, and then let your left hand follow. It might just come to the edge of the mat. It might come on top of the right hand. Let your head stay low. Draw your left hip back towards your heel. And then we'll take the other side. Left hand coming off the mat now. Right hand following it. And then inhale, come back to center. Lower the head now. See if it'll come to the mat or bring it down onto a prop. Relax your jaw. And then let's lift the head. Let's slowly lift the upper body. So you could sit back onto your heels now if this is a position you feel really comfortable in. Or head on into a cross-legged position. So we're just going to sit together now just for a few minutes just to complete our practice. So important whenever you're sitting is your pelvis position, your spine position. So what we want to avoid is this rocking back of the pelvis. So if this is happening to you, pop something in here underneath your sit bones. So either you're folded over a blanket or block. Just letting, and this applies to all of us, just slightly rolling forward onto the front of the sitting bones. This is going to allow us to sit in the natural curves of the spine. And the more that we remind our body of this very natural neutral position, the easier it will become to sit. So grab any props, any support that you might need. And if you don't feel good in cross-legged, then don't do it. You can always find other ways, even pop onto a chair for these few minutes or bring your legs in front of you, feet on the mat. So you can rest your hands on your knees or in your lap. Checking your posture, so it's that balance between a little bit of effort but ease as well. Shoulders relaxed, arms relaxed. That sense of deep ease spreading out through the rest of your body, your legs, your face and jaw. And just for these few minutes now, just watch your breath. You don't need to control it or exaggerate it. Just watch it as it goes back and forth. Inhale and exhale. Of course, you will find yourself getting pulled away by your thoughts, getting distracted. And just keep coming back. Here, now. Following the breath. On your next breath now, guide your attention back to your body. Feel the ground or the floor beneath you. And without yet opening your eyes, just being a little bit more aware of your surroundings, any sounds, anything that might be going on in the rest of your house. Maybe deepening your breath a little. And then you can bring your hands together, rub your palms, create some prana, some energy, some heat. And we'll take those lovely warm palms, we'll cup them over our closed eyes. And gradually opening your eyes now into the darkness of your hands. And then lowering your hands down. So thank you for practicing with me. Come back to this session as often as you like, whenever you feel that you just have a short amount of time or you just want to do some quick movement that feels really good. And I'll see you soon.